Happy New Moon. All praises. We're going to get it in. And to those who are online, you're here celebrating the new moon with True Nation Israelite Congregation. I am Izar Allah. To my left is
Brother Banaya.
And to my right,
Brother Yashmai.
Tazaiwan.
that's Tazaiwan Ariala. Yep. So, man, and also hit the like, share, and subscribe button so your friends could get this message. Because we know some people, they celebrated the bootleg holiday, which was the destruction of our own people, which some don't know it, which is Thanksgiving. How can you truly be thankful for something that's worthy of death? You can't, right? But our people did that in ignorance and pray that the Most High, He forgive them when they find out the truth, like, oh man, I shouldn't have been doing that. So we're going to get into something, because this lesson is kind of refuting that, because tonight is the true feast, right? So with that, let's go here. Let's go to Mark chapter 7. I'm on 6 through 9.
The book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 6. He answered and said unto them, Well hath Esaias prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, This people honoreth me with their lips.
How many of y'all heard somebody say, I got a relationship with Christ, I got a relationship with the Most High, and they don't do what He says for them to do? Just about a lot of people. Some of us was even hypocrites at one point, right? Because we was devout Christians or devout Muslims, saying that we love the Most High and Yahushua and didn't even know Him at all, right? So this is who's He's addressing. Like everybody that's celebrating Thanksgiving today, they say they know the Most High, but according to these scriptures and what they're practicing, they don't know the Most High. But go ahead. They are hypocrites, but go ahead.
As it is written, This people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
So their mind is far away from the Most High, right? What's one of the meals, what's one of the things that they have on their plate today that would make them defiled according to the Most High? Ham, right? So they don't know the Most High. They honor Him with their lips, but their hearts, their minds are far away from Him. But go ahead.
Howbeit in vain do they worship me.
They worship Him in vain. They celebrating the destruction of their own people, which is an abomination to the Most High, right? But go ahead.
Teaching for doctrines the commandments of men, for laying aside the commandment of the Most High. Ye hold the traditions of men.
So I'm going to say this, because I screenshotted it also, too. I seen some Israelites talking about, man, if y'all hungry and somebody bring that plate to you, go ahead and eat it. These are Israelites talking about the Most High. He ain't with that. Like, they can go ahead and eat that. But that's vain worship. That's vain things that they causing our people to commit sin through them telling them, hey, man, go ahead and eat that meal. Partake with your enemies for killing your people, right? But go ahead.
Ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, Full well ye reject the commandment of the Most High, that ye may keep your own tradition.
So a lot of people, they reject the commandments of the Most High. When He tells you don't do something, don't do it. So with that, let's go here. Let's go to Amos 5 and 21. Because this is the scripture I used, right? We're going to read Amos chapter 5. We're going to read 21 through 24. This is the scripture I used. And they was like, that's against wicked Israelites, which it is. But how much more wicked heathens? Because our people, when they partake in something, they make it their own, right? Because some people are like, man, I'm not going to celebrate Thanksgiving. But when you partake in that meal, you're actually celebrating Thanksgiving. You're partaking of their sacrifice, right? Go ahead, read that.
The book of Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. I despise your feast days.
So he said, I hate and I despise your feast days. Anything outside of the Most High, that's your feast at that point, right? So wouldn't Thanksgiving be something that the Most High hates? Absolutely. Go ahead.
I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
So he don't want the pork, he don't want the turkey, he don't want the mac and cheese, the greens, none of that, right? He said he hates it and he despised your feast days, and he will not smell at your solemn assemblies, right? Go ahead.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
You got people started cooking yesterday morning So I got to cook all day and all night so I can get this meal for today so my people can eat. The Most High, he don't want them vain oblations, right? But go ahead.
I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols.
So he don't want to hear nothing. He don't want to see the meal. He don't want to hear it. Because you got a lot of people saying, all praise to the Most High. Thank God for this. Thank God for that. But you in sin. Right? But go ahead.
But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream.
So it's our people that was killed, right? What's the judgment for killing somebody? Death, right? The penalty of death, right? You can get that in Numbers 35, verse 33 through 35, right? It says, he who kills a man, by man shall his blood be shed. That's the judgment he's talking about. Because we're talking about a whole nation that's celebrating the death of another nation and calling it Thanksgiving. Brother Darash did an excellent lesson on Thanksgiving the other day, right? Why we shouldn't celebrate it. So I'm going to get something else. Because let's get Proverbs 21 and 27. Because, man, the Most High hates these people when they do this. Yep, Proverbs 21 and verse 27.
Verse 27. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination.
So isn't Thanksgiving an abomination? Because that's a wicked nation that did this to our people, right? But go ahead.
How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind?
So who has a wicked mind when they bring this offering before the Lord? Because Esau know what he did it for, right? Our people that's brainwashed into saying Thanksgiving. All praise the Most High, or thank the Lord for giving it to us. That's a wicked mind state. Like you are in awe of your enemies for killing your own people. And you celebrating it with them. Right? So with that, let's get here. Let's go here. Let's go to Sirach, which is Ecclesiastes 34, 18 through 22. Sirach chapter 34, verse 18 through 22.
Sirach chapter 34 and verse 18. Hear me, O ye great men of the people, and hearken with your ears, ye rulers of the congregation. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest.
No, that's not it. Let me get it. Sirach 34. Yeah. Yeah, 18 through 22.
My bad. Sirach 34 and 18. He that sacrificeth of a thing wrongfully gotten, his offering is ridiculous.
Wasn't America wrongfully gotten? Read that again, so they can hear it.
He that sacrificeth of a thing wrongfully gotten, his offering is ridiculous.
So the Most High hates that offering. He said it's ridiculous. Have somebody ever called y'all ridiculous? And it was highly offensive when they said it to you, right? But go ahead.
And the gifts of unjust men are not accepted.
The Most High don't want them gifts. He hates Thanksgiving as the Europeans celebrate it, right? But go ahead.
The Most High is not pleased with the offerings of the wicked.
So is he pleased with their offering? Absolutely not. He is not pleased with these offerings that our people give, right? Go ahead.
Neither is he pacified for sin by the multitude of sacrifices.
So you can bring all types of sacrifices and wickedness. He's not even going to be pacified with it. But go ahead.
Whoso bringeth an offering of the goods of the poor.
So America stole the poor's goods, right? Listen what he says. Go ahead.
Whoso bringeth an offering of the goods of the poor doeth as one that killeth the son before his father's eyes.
So that's how the Most High sees you when you celebrate Thanksgiving. He like, you killed your own brother. Because they stole the food, they stole the land, they raped, robbed, murdered, and killed their people. The Most High is not accepting that, right? So with that, let's go here. Yeah, all the way to 22, my bad.
Verse 21. The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. Mm-hmm. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the laborer of his hire is a bloodshedder.
So those are bloodshedders. Let's see what the Most High has to say about them. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 12. So if you celebrate these things and you still want to be ignorant after hearing this lesson, the Most High is counting you as a bloodshedder. And this is what's going to happen to you, right? Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 12. Go ahead, Doc, when you got it.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
He said, woe. When you look that word woe up, it means destruction. So destruction is coming to America. They built this whole nation over here with blood. The blood of the African Americans, the blood of the Native Americans, right? But go ahead.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth the city by iniquity.
Isn't America established by iniquity? Lies, rape, and murder. And called it Thanksgiving, right? But go ahead, let's go here. Let's go to Micah 2 and verse 2.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 2. And they covet fields.
So we know America is stolen, right? Go ahead.
And take them by violence.
They took them by violence. They killed, raped, robbed, and murdered the Native Americans for this land. And not only did they do that, they went back to Africa and brought the rest of the nations of Israel over here, right? Raped, robbed, and killed them as well, right? Go ahead.
And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Even a man and his heritage. Aren't we still being oppressed today? By the same people that stole this land? So the Most High is not dealing with everybody talking about happy Thanksgiving, all praises to the... Man, the Most High is not dealing with y'all at all. He hates this. But we want to get into this because we want to show y'all who the true feast is, right? And who is to celebrate it. Let's go to Leviticus 23. I want 1 through 4. Because these are the feasts that we are to keep, right?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord.
So these are what we're supposed to keep. The feast of the Lord. Not Thanksgiving, not Halloween, not Christmas, right? Not those pagan holidays, right? Go ahead.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
So we proclaiming this new moon to be a holy convocation, which means holy being set apart. The world is not in here with us, right? Because if it was, this wouldn't be a holy convocation. We'd be back in Amos 5 and 21, right? Where the Most High be like, I despise your feast days, right? When we do it out of order. But go ahead.
6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
So the new moon is something that happens monthly. Let's go there. Let's go to Numbers 10 and 10.
Book of Numbers, chapter 10, verse 10. Also in the day of your gladness.
So today is a day of gladness. Why is that? Can somebody give me the history of this day of gladness? I'll give it to y'all. It's Exodus 12, 1 and 2. Let's go there right quick. Hold that. Let's go to Exodus 12, 1 and 2 right quick. Because it was a glorious time when we came out of Egypt. Right?
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
So doing it after our Exodus, the Most High, he declared at a time that, which we have between March and April, which is Abib, is the first month to us. That's why we have the history of keeping the new moon during this time. That's why we have to come and blow the trumpets, because it's a solemn feast day for us. It's a time of gladness. Just like it's going to be a time of gladness again when we come out of this Egypt, right? Everybody's going to rejoice at that time. So let's go back to Numbers 10 and 10.
The book of Numbers, chapter 10, verse 10. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings.
So that's why we blew the trumpet. And it's a solemn feast day, but go ahead.
And over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God, your power, I am Yahweh, your God.
That's why we do this, and this is something we're supposed to do forever, right? Keep the Most High feast days. So let's go here. Let's go to Luke 14. We're going to be in chapter Luke 14 for a minute. So let's go to Luke 14 and 6.
The book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 6. And they could not answer him again to these things. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden.
No, Luke 14, verse 16.
Verse 16. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many.
So he bade many. Bade mean he commanded a lot of people to come to this supper. The same way the Most High is doing today. Like, come celebrate my feast days with me. Come celebrate the new moons, right? So with that, I want to get a precept to back that up. Let's go to Matthew 22 and verse 14.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 14. For many are called.
Weren't y'all called? How many of your friends did you tell about this truth and been asking them to come keep the feast days? Come do it right.
To this day.
A lot of y'all, right? Because y'all was excited telling your people, hey, man, come keep the feast. This is true way we are to follow the Most High's law, statutes, and his covenant, right? And keep his holy days, not Christmas, Easter, what else? They just had Thanksgiving. We're not supposed to keep that, but you've been telling your people, come here, right? Read that again up.
For many are called, but few are chosen.
Mm-hmm. He said, many are called, but a few are chosen. So with that, let's go here. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10. Yeah, because we're going to be back and forth there for a minute.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
How many of y'all have seen people fall out of the truth? So read that again, huh?
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence
So
to
he
make...
said be diligent. Take your time, read, study, and get the understanding of what it is that you are doing. Because your life, your soul is on the line, right? This is a commandment for us to do, right? Because he called us, but we have to do what? Go ahead.
Brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail.
So if you do this and keeping the law, statutes, covenant, you ain't going to never fail. But it's brothers that come in here, they don't be diligent, not just our church, but around the world. If you're in the Israelite congregation, you know somebody that left this truth because they were wicked. They wanted to go off and do their own thing, right? Because it's a scary thing to be handed back over to that reprobate mind that you once was, once you were once enlightened as well, right? And we don't want to be like that. So we want to make our calling sure. So with that, let's go back to Luke. Luke 14 and verse 17.
Luke 14 and 17. And sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are now ready.
He said everything is all ready. All we got to do is show up, right? How many don't be showing up to the Sabbaths? How many don't show up to the new moon? To the holy convocations, right? That's something the Most High hates. But we see this is Yahweh Shai bidding his people to come, right? Because the plates are already made. The feast is already set. So with that, let's go to Isaiah 55. We're going to read 1 through 7.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 1. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye.
How many of y'all brought some money tonight? He said he ain't got to worry about the money, just come. Right? Go ahead.
Come ye, buy, and eat. Yea, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price.
How many of y'all did that tonight? Yeah, but y'all know it's a meal back there ready for y'all, right? So y'all came, some of y'all came bearing gifts, some of y'all came no gifts. Y'all just got to show up and eat, right? But this is Christ. This is the Most High telling us what to do, right? Go ahead.
Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good.
This is what he said. Y'all heard that again? He said, hearken diligently unto me and eat ye that which is good. Is he giving us some spoiled food? Some rotten fruit? No, he giving us everything good that's for life, right? Go ahead.
And let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live.
You go anywhere else, is your soul gonna live? No, because you at the Thanksgiving dinner plate, the bootleg feast, which is an abomination to the Most High, you eating pork, you eating everything fattening, and you're getting a whole bunch of lies, right? And nonsense. But go ahead.
And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
Man, he said he's going to make an everlasting covenant with you. How many of y'all want that? I know I do. But go ahead.
Verse 4, behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and commander to the people. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of Yahweh thy power, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee.
And that nation is us, because we didn't know the Most High. We were in complete sin. We had, what's that scripture that talks about we shall discontinue from our heritage? We've done that.
Jeremiah 17 and 4.
Yep, but go ahead.
Verse 6, seek ye Yahweh while he may be found.
He says, seek him while he may be found. If you're not in the truth, you're not seeking him. He's not going to be found of you. But we here celebrating this feast, the true feast. He's like, man, seek him while he can be found. Because you ain't going to be wanting to seek him when you start bringing destruction on this world. It's already over for you at that point, right? But go ahead.
Call ye upon him while he is near.
Go ahead.
Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts.
Wasn't we all wicked at one point? He said, forsake your way, because you've been called, right? Go ahead.
And let him return unto Yahweh and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon.
He said he will abundantly pardon our iniquities. How many of y'all want that? How many of y'all ever been to jail or got a record or something? Y'all wanted it expunged, right? We all were sinners. We all need our records expunged from the Most High. So with that, let's go here. Let's go to Luke 14:18. Because these are the people we don't want to be like. We're going to read 18 through 21.
Verse 18. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused.
Man, how many of y'all did that before? Before y'all actually came in, it was like, man, I'll go next week. I'll go a little later. Not knowing if you was really going to make it back here, right? But go ahead.
And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee, have me excused.
He's like, man, I got these animals. I don't know if I can make it to the feast, man. I'm good. I'm gonna go feed them and chill with them, right? Go ahead.
And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come.
Man, put your wife before the Most High. Not knowing both of y'all needed this, right? How many of y'all came in this truth and it fixed your relationship? Because now y'all on one accord. Just about all of us, right? But go ahead.
So that servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor, and the maimed, and the halt, and the blind.
So he like, everybody that I called to come to the true feast, they didn't come. So now I'm going to go out and get some more people. So with that, let's go here. Let's go to, because everybody else, they already made their excuses. But I'm going to show y'all that the Most High don't care. Once you make that excuse, he's like, it's over for them. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14:38. So we got to stop making excuses when it comes to keeping the feast, right? Because I'm going to show y'all how the Most High feel about you when you make those excuses. Because how many of y'all get tired of dealing with people and they treating you wrong? just about everybody in here do, right? But let's see how the Most High and Yahweh Shai feels about that. 1 Corinthians 14 and 38.
Verse 38. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant.
He's like, if you ignorant, what?
Let him be ignorant.
So you're going to continue in your ignorance, not knowing, right? He's going to continue to allow you to ignore what it is you should be not ignoring, right? So with that, let's go here. Let's further that with another precept. Let's get Proverbs 1. I want 20 through 33.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 20. Okay. Wisdom crieth without.
How do you get wisdom? Keeping the commandments, the fear of the Lord, right? But go ahead. So wisdom is indeed crying out to the children of Israel, right? How many of y'all been posting about don't celebrate Thanksgiving? It's an abomination. You killing your own people. Just about all the brothers in here, right? Y'all been showing people that's in the ignorance not to do it, right? But go ahead.
Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets.
So y'all wisdom was crying out because y'all have the understanding, right? So y'all voice was crying out in the streets, which is the words of the Most High. Go ahead.
She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying.
So this word is everywhere. Everybody know that we the children of Israel now, right? All praise to the Most High, because he used Kanye West, a famous black person, to let everybody know that we are the children of Israel. And that message went from here in California, where he live at now, all the way across the world. And it was even going across the world before that, but now more famous people know, like, man, they know what they know, right? So that message is being put out. So that wisdom is definitely being put out. But go ahead.
Verse 22, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge?
Man, how many people is like, man, I'm going to celebrate Thanksgiving anyway. Y'all got, I got it, so I know y'all got it. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care. Y'all seen that video Charleston White recently did? That brother's a sad case for the nation of Israel. But hopefully he get this message and he repent too. Because he even said he don't like, he's fed up with the Israelites. Y'all seen that interview too? Like, man, bro, like, just shut up. Yeah, he fed up with the Israelites. All we doing is speaking the truth, right? Showing a representation of the Most High, because the Most High said, thy eyes shall see thy teachers. If we're not in the highways and the byways, where we going to be at? Nobody going to really see us, right? But go ahead, huh?
Turn you at my reproof. Behold.
He said, turn at his correction. What? Go ahead.
Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you.
So, when you turn to the correction of the Most High, he going to pour out his spirit on you. How many of y'all want the spirit of the Most High? Or y'all want that ratchet spirit that's in the world? I want the spirit of the Most High. I want to be righteous, right? I want to be the man that the Most High called me to be, right? But go ahead.
I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
So when we refuse the hand of the Most High, go ahead, bro.
But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
So people not listening, right? We've been telling people years, you the children of Israel. We've been telling people years, don't eat pork. We've been telling people for years that these are the feasts that you are to keep, that the Most High will honor you in doing so, right? Go ahead.
I also will laugh at your calamity.
So when everything bad happens, like, what was that wicked feast they recently had? Halloween. 146 people died in one night at one nightclub. How many of our people die in that wickedness too? How many people gonna die tonight? But in their wickedness, the Most High, he said he gonna do what?
I will also laugh at your calamity.
He said, I'm gonna laugh at you. Right? Go ahead.
I will mock when your fear cometh.
Hold that. Let's get Hosea 4 and 6 right quick. I'm gonna show y'all. Because the Most High said he'll take his hand of protection off you when you don't listen to him. Because he said, you called, hearken unto me, right? But when we don't do it, man, we get it. Go ahead.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
So when we don't have the knowledge, the understanding of the Most High, he said we are destroyed for that, right? Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
He said, I'll reject you. That's simple. So when you don't come to the feast that the Most High ordained you to come to and gave his holy son, who gave his blood, his life for you, you don't come. The Most High don't care. He like, out of here. Go do you. But go ahead, finish reading.
And your children too.
And your children. He take his hand of protection off your children. The coldest meme I seen on Instagram and Facebook was, because everybody talking about, I got this, I got that house. The dude was like, man, one of the most underrated blessings is making it home. None of y'all want to get that call or be called to your loved ones like, man, he didn't make it. But, so guess what we got to do? Got to keep these laws, these statutes and covenants, as well as his judgments. So go ahead, go back to that. Let's go back to that.
Proverbs 1 and 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me.
Don't y'all do that? How many of y'all should get drunk and say the drunken's prayer? Lord, just let me make it home. I'm going to serve you. I promise. Or you be sitting under the commode throwing up, like, man, let this go away. I don't want that. Man. And you're going to be right back in your wickedness. But this is what Israel do. They don't come keep the true feast of the Most High. But the Most High is calling us to do that, right? Go ahead.
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
We got all this infinite power before us, and we can't even call on them because of our wickedness. Right? Go ahead.
For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh.
Go ahead.
They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof.
So they despised all of his corrections, right? Go ahead.
Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way.
So when you wicked and you ain't doing what the Most High say, he said you're going to eat the fruit of your own way. So a lot of times stuff be happening to us. Why? Because it's the fruit of our own way. Most High, you don't want to listen to me. Y'all ever heard that term? You don't want to listen to me? I got to let you bump your head a little bit. Man, we bumped our head 400 years. Right? But go ahead.
And be filled with their own devices. Mm-hmm. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, mm-hmm. and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Man,
we getting destroyed by fools. Who's the fool we dealing with? Esau, the foolish of our own nation. Gangbanging is at an all-time high worldwide. And who's getting killed? Our people. Right? But go ahead.
But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Man, that's Psalms 23 all day when we hearken unto the Most High. So, and that's where we want to be at in these feasts, in the keeping of the law, statutes, and his covenant. So with that, I'm going to go here. Let's go to John 4 and 23. Because this is who the Most High is looking for. If you ignorant, and he like, let them be ignorant still. No regard for your life after that, right? Some people might say that's cold, but the Most High gave us a chance.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
So he's looking for true worshipers. Is he looking for the one foot in, one foot out, the double dutch? No, he ain't looking for that. He wants true worshipers. He said, I'd rather you be hot or cold. Not lukewarm, because he's going to spew you out. Don't the middleman always get killed in every movie? The middleman in real life get killed right here. We don't want to be that middleman, but go ahead.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
So he's only looking for true worshipers to be at his feast, to be at his side, to be in his kingdom. Because other than that, it's good riddance for you. Because didn't he say all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword? Because you could be somebody that, to man's standard, do good by all people. Like, you feeding the poor, you feeding the needy, you clothing people, you buying people houses and all kind of stuff. But you breaking the Most High's commandments. He's going to be like, get away from me, I never knew you. And that's a cold thing, right? Because don't people say, I got a good heart. I do right by people. but they don't do right by the God that created them. And that's an offense. That's a sin, worthy of death, right? So with that, let's go here. So let's go to Luke. I'm on 14. I'm on 22 to 23.
Luke 14 and 22. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room. And the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
So the Most High, he wants his house to be filled on his feast day. See how filled this house is? All praises to the Most High. Because this is the evidence of the Most High's word going forth. The house is filled, right? But he wanted it filled all the way up. So let's see who he sent out to fill his house. Let's go to Matthew 10 and verse 6. Because he didn't send them to any and everybody. He just sent them to his people, right?
The book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, he said Ishmael.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, he said Esau.
Israel.
The Amalekites.
Israel.
He said, come to y'all, so-called African Americans, Native Americans, and the 12 tribes scattered abroad. He said, come to y'all. That's who he wants to fill his house, not everybody, right? Because if everybody was to fill his house, who gonna be the servants? And we know that in Isaiah, right? 14. The other nations are gonna be the servants of y'all. So with that, let's go here. Let's go to Matthew 11. I'm on 28 through 30.
The book of Matthew chapter 11 and verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
So who's going to give you that rest? The Most High. Isn't it peaceful when we come to his feast? Was it peaceful when y'all went to the clubs? Ladies, y'all had to worry about jealous women. Brothers, y'all had to worry about jealous men, right? Messing with you in and out the club, jacking you. Rest in peace, old girl Shanquilla. She was with her friends. She got killed with her friends. That's no peace. But that's what happens when we follow the ways of the world. And we don't have discernment of who's wicked and who's righteous, right? But in here we have discernment. We got a government set up, which is the Most High's law, statutes, and his covenant, as well as his judgment. Brothers ain't going to be getting out of order. And if they do, they're going to get checked, right? So go ahead.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
So Yahweh Shai is definitely going to give us rest. Go ahead.
Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
So we're going to find rest unto our soul when we follow Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light.
He said his yoke is easy and his burden is light. He told us to keep his commandments, right? And let it be not grievous to us. Is it hard once you really learn how to keep the commandments? It's not. It's easy, right? And we're going to have some fun tonight, right? So with that, let's go to Luke 14:24.
Luke 14 and 24. For I say unto you that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper.
He said nobody that was called to come, because they didn't come, they're not going to taste of his supper, right? My brother went over a beautiful lesson talking about how the wicked are not going to make it into the kingdom, right? So I want to just touch on a few scriptures. The wicked are not going to taste of his supper, right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 7. I want 21 through 27.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 21. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So, like I said earlier, now he's saying it. Everybody that say, Lord, Lord, they ain't going to make it into the kingdom. Why? Because they didn't hearken unto the words of the Most High, and they didn't do as he said do. It's rules to this. Like they say, it's levels to this, right? Can't be half-stepping in this truth. But go ahead.
But he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Many.
Because right here, he's not talking to the worldly people. He's talking to people that's supposed to be in this truth. Go ahead.
Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name?
Man, don't we do that? We prophesy in the Most High's name, right? But he's going to say, many shall say, have not I prophesied in thy name? You professing Christ, but you ain't even going to make it into the kingdom. That's something cold, right? But go ahead.
And in thy name have cast out devils?
Those who minister, casting spirits out of people, that's a heavy burden, right? You're working all your life for the Most High and Yahushua, and now you can't even make it because you didn't do something right. Who did a whole lot, was supposed to make it to the promised land, didn't make it? Moses, he got all the way there. Struck the rock instead of speaking into it, doing what the Most High told him to do. He listened to the people and couldn't make it. But right here, it's talking about our salvation. We saying this, saying that. I love the Most High. I love Yahushua. Get to the gates and can't even make it. That's a cold thing, right? Go ahead.
And in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you.
He said, I never knew you. So you can be in here and be an imposter. But the Most High and Yahushua see your works. He see your attitude. And he going to be the one be like, nah, I'm good. I don't need that one. But go ahead.
Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man.
So we got to learn to be wise. We got to come keep these true feasts. Right? Because Yahushua ain't having it. The scripture says the Most High eyes are 10,000 times more brighter than the sun. So he sees everything. Right? But go ahead.
I will liken unto him a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
So we want to build our house on a rock, right? Go ahead.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
Who's our rock?
Yahushua.
All praises. Verse 26.
And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man.
So we don't want to be foolish, because the foolish ain't going to make it into the kingdom. Remember the 10 bridesmaids? 5 made it, the foolish ones didn't make it. And we don't want to be like them. But go ahead.
Which built his house upon the sand, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it.
Man, y'all want to have that great fall? Because that'd be that'd be the walk of shame for real, for real. Like, man, look at that dude. He was an Israelite for real, but now he at them gates and he ain't making it. Guess who's going to see you not make it? All your friends that was righteous and really stood for the Most High and Yahushua. So I want to get this last and final scripture. Because guess who's going to be there giving you that crown of glory? Christ himself. Yep. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. Chapter 2, and we're going to read 42 through 47. Because how many of y'all really want this? Y'all want that crown of glory, right? Y'all want to make it into the kingdom, right? Chapter 2 and 42.
2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 42. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs.
So that's going to be Israel as the sand of the sea, right? We're going to be that great people, right? Go ahead.
And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
So Yahushua going to be saying crowns on your head. But if you don't do what he say do, he's going to be like, get away from me, I never knew you. But I know everybody in here sincerely want that crown, right? But go ahead.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, So we have to put on our immortal clothing. We have to walk in the spirit, right? Go ahead. Put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God.
So it's Yahushua. He going to crown you, right? He also going to give you that final judgment. You ain't keeping these feasts. Guess what? You're going to be out of here. But if you keeping his feast, doing what thus saith the Lord, you're going to make it, right? Go ahead.
It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Then that
All praises. That's all I needed. So So please make sure y'all keep these true feasts of the Lord, so he don't despise you and your wickedness and your ignorance. And that I say shalom.
Know what it is? Another Woolly Mane production.
At first light, right before the sunset, beheld with my own eyes. Ah, but what a blessing! It's a new moon, the first crescent. We gon' share some mirth and some gladness. Ain't nobody stressing. Look, I was too focused on the ways of men. Had to refocus, turn my ways to him. Let's get it right, we ain't afraid of men. The kingdom is the goal, and yes, we aim to win. Our fathers watched to see the month begin. There must be light to see what's groping, trying to make it in. Father, forgive us for this sin, cause we didn't know no better. Glad our fathers kept a record, this cannot be severed. Not the conjunction or the fool, it was in those letters. Not one jot, no one tittle, by the law we fed it. We'll probably get the kingdom faster if we work together. Glorified and it will never.
We celebrate. Yo, big ball. Well, we celebrate. And I want to take the opportunity right now to say all praise be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. I'm going to say that one more time. All praise be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. Hey, we bless. The spirit of one of my dear brothers, Zabak, I want to say, and we gonna do it. Check it out, this is how we gonna do it. On the count of 3, I want y'all to say, Shalam Yasharahla. 1, 2, 3. Baby. New moon. It's a new moon.
And y'all know what it is. Another Woolly Mane production.
Beheld with my own eyes. Ah, but what a blessing! It's a new moon, the first crescent. We gon' share some mirth and some gladness. Ain't nobody stressing.
I tell my Akim Shalom as we pour around the drinks. We could look up in the sky and know exactly what he thinks. It's a new moon, a celebration. The Kaaba or the Trula that's before me is the only temptation. Tonight we do it right, so call up all the tribes to see my 5th shot like the book of Deuteronomy. Hey, these laws are part of me, and I get ruled with wicked Jews like Nehemiah. You gon' have to pardon me. Just look at what we built together. Our haters probably couldn't imagine the better successor. But all praises go to Yah, cause we don't worship men. You know that Jake's always late, let them brothers in. A holy feast, so you know we came dap it down. Menorah chains, yellow diamonds with a golden crown. Yeah, Howard Shy got our hand, he ain't gon' let us drown. We get it cracking once you hear them trumpets sound.
At first light, right before the sunset, beheld with my own eyes. Ah, but what a blessing! It's a new moon, the first crescent. We gon' share some mirth and some gladness. Ain't nobody stressing.